Wish you a wonderful day, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to our Institution of Global Professionals free webinar. Thank you all for joining with us and please stay with us till the end. My dear lovely audience, today I'm your host Nasreen from Bangladesh and currently I'm studying MSc in Psychology at the National University in my country. So this is such a great day to have all of you in our webinar. My dear lovely audience, I'm proud to be associated with IGP as a global member, and I feel honored and privileged to host this webinar. It's my delight to welcome you all to our Institution of Global Professionals pre-webinar. So thank you all once again for joining, and it's my humble request to all of you, please share this webinar in your timeline, in Facebook groups, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and also you can mention your friends, you can tag them in our comment box. And I believe you all will have so many takeaways and payoffs from this webinar. So let's learn together and grow together because we believe that power is gained by sharing knowledge, not holding it. So, my dear lovely audience, before starting the program, let me read some comments from our active participants. Right now, we have Ma'am Evelyn Perry, we have Sir Joseph Nebulos Placer, we have Angelo Ray Dai, we have Gloria Vicenta, Nancy Gita, we have Jama Rivera, Caramela B. Jane, and so many active participants right now commenting. And I would like to thank our CSR team. So we know that every day we have so many new participants who join from different places, different time zones, different nations with us in our webinar. So let me give some little concept about IGP. Institution of Global Professionals serves student and community resource, providing holistic social work and education for a profession generation. IGP is a leading skill development institute with thousands of learners worldwide. We make it able for every knowledge seeker to originate personality, more ambitious, make confident to face any circumstance and develop own skills. We are entrusted with international recognition. Institution of Global Professionals is an educational institution provides social work. We believe it's not effective to increase one's skills just by acquiring formal education. So we provide effective training, consultation to generate profession generation all over the world. We organized our webinar, training offline, online courses, etc. by best and trained speakers and coaches from all over the world to create a best learning platform for all of you. And our mission is to empower people and enhance. So we have already completed our webinar number 556 and today I'm presenting webinar number 557. The topic is providing psychosocial support among students. So this is a great topic for this afternoon and we have our honorable speaker today. So let's start the program. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome to our honorable speaker from Philippines, ma'am Pearl Irish Valley Garcias. How are you, ma'am?
Hel- Hello, ma'am. Good morning. I'm fine and I'm quite nervous.
No.
It's my first time to become a resource per speaker. for an international forum. So please bear with me.
I think it will be great, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am, you can start your presentation.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, I'll share my screen. Okay.
Yes, it's visible.
So, okay. So, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to each and everyone. So, I am Dr. Pearl Irish Vilipas. I'm an Associate Professor 3 of Biliran Province University here in the Philippines. And as well as I am also the Guidance Service Coordinator and Research and Innovation Chairperson of the School of Nursing and Health Sciences. So, basically, I am a nurse and a teacher as well by profession. So to start with my presentation, so the title of my topic for today is providing psychosocial support among students. So I guess there are some who are here who are also teachers, or maybe some of you may be students. So let's talk about how are we going to provide psychosocial support to students, and as students how are we going to maintain our mental health. So before I proceed, let me give you a background on the mental health. So first, mental health includes the psychological, emotional, and social well-being. So as we all know, when we say mental health, it does not only talk whether we are free from diseases. Okay, so it will also talk about how we think, how we respond to to our daily lives, especially if we have stressors. So that's mental health. And mental well-being describes your mental state, how you are feeling, and how well you can cope with day-to-day life. So, how are you guys? I hope everybody's good. And I hope even though we have problems at present, we will be able to cope with it. So our mental well-being is dynamic, so it can change from moment to moment, day to day, month to month, or year to year. So it means not all the times you'll feel happy. There will be some instances that you will feel bad depending on the situation. Just like for example, we have a breakup with our boyfriend or our girlfriend. Of course, if we have a sane mind and if we have a good mental well-being, so we will feel sad, but later on, we will be able to cope up with it. Okay? So, what is mental health again? So, everyone has mental health. So, each one of us, maybe you are a teacher, a student, okay, or let's say you are jobless, you still have a mental health, and mental health can change over time. And of course, we don't have to be ashamed of talking about if we have mental illness, should be ashamed of it, but rather we should be able to talk to our friends or our family regarding it. So don't be ashamed if you have some problems on your mental health. So I have here a diagram which shows the mentally well and the mentally unwell. So we all have mental health. Some of us may have health problems. Okay. So I'll let you watch a clip from my YouTube about the overview of mental health. Okay. Okay. So as you can see on that video, there are two students. There are two students. So one student is having problem on this grades that she had during a certain test, and one student is feeling not having the same feeling as before. So example, before he was enjoying hanging out with friends or doing the daily activities of his life. However, something has changed. So, however, because of the friends, the family that they have, they were able to cope up with those feelings. So, uh, I would like to ask everyone here. So, what are you thinking at finals time? So, when you were a student, if you are a teacher now, how do you feel when you are having your finals? A, if you believe professor shouldn't overload you, college should be easier than this. You can have a big project in every class. There has to be enough time to do all you need to do. So if you feel that way, so this means that you are not coping with your stressors, or you have a negative feeling. Okay. However, if you feel, if you believe and you feel that your goal is worth the effort, college is supposed to be tough. The only easy day was yesterday, and you've done this before and you can do it again. Now, you are having a positive feeling, or should I say you are feeling positive. You have a positive attitude. Next. Okay. So, another side here asks about perception. So as you can see on that picture, so can I ask someone here, um, how do you perceive that picture, or what can you say about that picture? How do you interpret that picture? The one with the sunglasses and with the pool. If you will be asked, how do you perceive it, or what if you are going to make a story out of that picture? What's the story behind it? Anyone? Hello? Yes, it could be a vacation. True. Yes. How about the others? Thank you, Mom Charilyn. It says the page is lost. Relaxation, yes, it could be relaxation. Or maybe on the other side, someone left his or her sunglasses while having a vacation. Yes, it's cool. Yes. So every one of us may have different perception on the things that we see, or on how we can make stories out of a picture that we see. Okay? So what changed was the way you look at them and what thought about them. Okay? So as mentioned earlier, some was thinking it was a vacation, something cool, okay, relaxing, positivity, yes, very good, or leisure. So how another picture, I'll be showing another picture. How about that one? How do you perceive that picture? What story can you make out of the picture? As you can see in the picture, there is a person with disability using the stairs, and many are using the elevator. Yes, self-reliance, individuality, tension. Yes, it could be a tension. What else? Why is this PWD does not use the elevator, where in fact he should use the elevator because he is handicapped? Okay. Pollution, yes, of course, it could be like now we have the COVID-19 pandemic. Maybe he would like to practice social distancing. Yes, thank you. Handicap choose stairs, yes, because maybe he doesn't want to be pushed. Okay, so we want to be away from any harm, to be safe, he uses the stairs. Or in other words, maybe in my perception, this person is not in a hurry, so he would rather choose the stairs rather than the elevator. Escalator, I mean. Yes, there is a discrimination, yes. So we have different perceptions on that picture. How about this one? Another picture. Okay. What can you say about a lady sitting down and the dog in front of her? Stressed, okay? You may say that the lady is stressed. Yes, it could be. What else? Stress. What else? Or in my own perception, maybe this girl has no one to talk to. Okay, so she chose to talk to a dog rather than a person or someone. Yes, it could be. Yes, she's talking to the dog. Discomfort. Okay, nature lover. Solitude. Yes, having a mental problem. It could be because why is she talking to a dog? No? Why not to a person? Yes, a mental health. So, yes, so that picture shows the different perceptions that we can have by looking a certain picture. Okay, next. So what is perception? So when you say perceptions is how we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Our ability to use our five senses to see, hear, taste, smell, and touch. The way we perceive things may be different from one person to another. Some will have the same, but some may differ. So we have disturbance of perception. So for normal persons or for persons with good mental health, on the first layer of the picture and that on topmost part, you can see leaves, di ba? In the left and the right leaves. But for those who have mental problem, so what's in front of him or her, or for a normal person, he or she will see a bunch of leaves. But for others, he may see it as a mask, or let's say a monster, okay, for those who have mental problem, and you call that illusion, okay. So we also have what we call hallucination, meaning there's nothing in front of him, or there's no such thing, or the presence of a certain thing, but he or she sees a leaf, okay, or he or she sees a monster. So those are some of the examples of the disturbances of perception. Next. So I have here another video. Can you hear an audio? Because I can hear an audio on my headphone. No audio, doctor. Okay, I'll check. Okay, how do I do that? Excuse- Screen. How do I do this one? Okay, I think here. Okay. So I'll play it again. How about that one? Is there a video already?
Bipolar disorder is a severe mood disorder and causes unusual fluctuations in a person's mood. People with this condition can find it hard to maintain relationships and jobs due to their extreme moods. They may lack focus or be unwilling to concentrate on what to you seems to be an important issue. People with bipolar disorder can be full of energy and talking very quickly, easily distracted, going off on unrelated tangents, lacking in energy, or feel sad,
Do you
pessimistic, and
do you want
hopeless.
me to play it
Schizophrenia.
again?
Schizophrenia is a widely misunderstood and feared mental illness. People who suffer from schizophrenia do not have dual personalities, but are rather split from reality and may have delusions about themselves or others. These symptoms can have a
Okay.
major
So I will
impact on
play
the
it again
ability to
for the
hold down
benefit of
jobs.
everyone.
We will highlight some of the signs and behaviours associated with mental health conditions. Knowing these signs may help you, your friends and family, or work colleagues break through the stigma surrounding mental health and start a discussion. Statistics have shown that 1 in 4 people will suffer with a mental ill health issue in any given year. This can be as high as 1 in 2 adults who are in debt. Over the past 25 years, anxiety and depression in teenagers has risen by 70%. Mental ill health covers a wide spectrum, from the worries and grief that we all experience, to severe depression or complete loss of touch with reality. Anxiety. We all experience levels of stress and anxiety, whether work pressures or family related. However, for some people, the feelings of anxiety can be prolonged and extreme, making it difficult to carry out simple, everyday tasks and can even cause panic attacks. Common signs to look out for when dealing with an anxious person include reduced concentration and memory, difficulty making decisions, become irritable and angry, and avoid certain situations. Depression. As with anxiety, most of us will experience ups and downs in our lives and during difficult times. If the low mood doesn't improve or go away, this can be a sign of depression. Someone suffering from depression can feel sad, anxious, guilty, angry, helpless, and hopeless. They may also have low self esteem and a tendency to believe that others only see them in a negative light. Other signs to look out for are self criticism and blame, impaired memory and concentration, neglecting responsibilities, and loss of interest in appearance and personal hygiene. Bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder is a severe mood disorder and causes unusual fluctuations in a person's mood. People with this condition can find it hard to maintain relationships and jobs due to their extreme moods. They may lack focus or be unwilling to concentrate on what to you seems to be an important issue. People with bipolar disorder can be full of energy and talking very quickly, easily distracted, going off on unrelated tangents, lacking in energy, or feel sad, pessimistic, and hopeless. Schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is a widely misunderstood and feared mental illness. People who suffer from schizophrenia do not have dual personalities, but are rather split from reality and may have delusions about themselves or others. These symptoms can have a major impact on the ability to hold down jobs, maintain relationships, and many other aspects of everyday life. People with schizophrenia may appear distracted by things that to you doesn't seem apparent. For instance, they may start paying attention to another unheard voice, or even have a conversation with someone who isn't present. This can result in them finding it difficult holding a conversation while they are distracted with other thoughts. Obsessive-Compulsive Disorder. Obsessive-Compulsive Disorder, known as OCD, can be a very disabling condition. Feelings of anxiety are combined with obsessive and unwelcome thoughts that lead to compulsive behaviors. A common obsession is a thought that dirt and germs have contaminated them and find themselves needing to wash hands frequently to feel clean. Compulsions are repeated activities that a sufferer feels compelled to carry out, such as constantly checking that a door is locked. These can be challenging for a person when dealing with routine tasks and managing relationships. Other common obsessions that you might notice are repeating actions and becoming anxious if they are unable to do so, fixating on a number, washing and cleaning ritually. If you think you or someone you know has a mental health condition, you are not alone. Wiltshire Mind is a local charity offering three main areas of support for mental ill health: You in Mind, peer support groups, counselling, and telephone service. Details can be found at wiltshiremind.co.uk.
Okay. So on that video, you have seen that there will be some mental health problems of a certain person, maybe schizophrenia, anxiety. Okay. As mentioned earlier, some may also have hallucinations, illusions. So those are samples of mental health problems. Okay. So as we all know, those mental health problems, if prevented earlier, okay, it could not lead on those serious mental health problems. So what we need is psychosocial support from anyone, um, maybe a healthcare provider, maybe your family, maybe your teacher. So it's merely how we can prevent the occurrence of those mental health problems. Okay. So mental health and well-being. So health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease, according to World Health Organization of 2008. And well-being reflects your values, your norms, human needs, etc., as perceived by people themselves. So maybe some of us may be thinking that he or she is healthy because he or she does not have any disease, but it's not being healthy only. you should have the complete package, the mental and social well-being, meaning your mental health and your social well-being should match. Okay, so you should know how to cope up with your problems. Okay, and you should know how to act on those problems. So we also have community perceptions of mental health and well-being. So some would say it's only a material well-being, social well-being. It's a matter of being secured, physical, mental, moral, spiritual well-being. So let us learn one by one what are those community perceptions on mental health. So when you say material well-being, it's having a stable employment, okay, livelihood, stable cash incomes, adequate to land, all the things, okay? So mga material things that you need in order to live, having a good place to live, okay? So those are material things. Now, for your social well-being, so it's how you socialize with other people in the community or in your family or with your workmates. Okay? So providing good education and socialization for children. You also have caring for children. Okay? So you also have unity and harmony within the family, unity and harmony within the community, unity and harmony with neighboring communities, host communities, access to services, self-respect, dignity, clean and free environment, free of alcohol and drug abuse. So those are your social well-being examples. Now, for your security, from the word itself, security, secure. So secure environment for their living without fear and outside. So the feeling of being safe from any harm. A secure physical environment protection from natural disasters and conflicts, free movement and living without being subject to suspicion, meaning you are able to move freely but being safe at the same time. That's security, being secured. Okay? For security, some of the examples would be a peaceful atmosphere free of regular checks, intimidation from security forces, secure and strong houses to prevent intruders. Okay? So dapat you should have a house that you can have a shelter on when there is a typhoon. Okay, so which is secured, meaning it's made of cement, not by light materials, so that's being secured. Houses that ensure privacy and personal safety, yes, of course. So as we all know, here in the Philippines, especially for those who are uh poor, they only have one room, then everyone will be sleeping together. So if you have a secure privacy, if you want to ensure privacy and personal safety, you should have a room for your children, and for you, if you have a husband or wife, as a couple, you should have your own room. We also have this community members coming together to intervene and solve problems and issues. Okay, so we will be helping each other, and a peaceful atmosphere free of regular checks and intimidation for some security, and things going on. We also have here physical, mental, moral, spiritual well-being. So living without illness and suffering, having mental happiness, having good thoughts or feelings towards others, so you don't feel bad with anyone, so you're at peace with your friends. Okay, living with courage, endeavor, self-initiative and drive, so you can decide on your own, and living with wisdom, not acting on emotions or rational behavior. Okay, so meaning you have a positive living and moral behavior of community members, careful spending, and living religiously. So what does a good mental health look like? Okay? So if you have a good mental health, you'll be able to, number one, recognize the good in yourself. Okay? Such as your positive attributes and achievements you have made. So you should be proud of your achievements that you have done. Okay? Example, you pass a board exam, you should be happy. Or you were promoted, you should be happy. Okay? And feel and express a range of emotion. Okay? So you are not afraid to express if you are mad, but you should act accordingly. You should be able to express your emotions properly. So if you are mad to a certain person, Okay, or you have a conflict with your friend or your husband or wife, you should be able to talk to that person and tell him or her that you are mad because of this one. And but you are not going to argue with her, not shouting, so you should express it properly. Feel engaged with the world around you. So you are not a loner, okay? You are able to socialize with other people around you, okay? Live and work productively, okay? So in every day you are able to do something, okay? You are able to go to work, okay? And if you do not have work, you have done something. For example, if you are jobless but you have a family, if you are a mother or housewife, you should be happy that you are able to take care of your children. Okay? Then you are able to cope with the stresses of daily life and manage times of change and uncertainty. Yes, because anytime you will be able to encounter problems. For example, death in the family. It is common that it will happen, but we do not know when will it happen. So we should be prepared on those things. So example, you might be will not be you will be disregarded at work, or you may be fired at work. So those are some of the stressors that you may experience. And for the students, some students will not be able to have a good score. Okay, so those are stressors that anyone should be able to cope with. Next, what reduces community mental health and well-being? So, examples are injustice. For example, you are not able to receive the services given by the government because you are poor. So it could be a sort of an injustice or discrimination or stigma, just like in the picture that I have shown earlier. You can see the person with disability um, using the stairs alone, while those with normal physical attributes are using the escalator. Okay. We also have urbanization, yes, because example in our place, I live in a rural area, so there are some that um, things that some people will not be used in using technology, with the use of technology. We also have communicable diseases, of course. Okay, so there's a stigma, especially if you have HIV or you have other diseases that is communicable, like TB. Okay, tuberculosis. Work stress, it's another factor that would reduce your mental health and well-being. You also have this alcoholism, drug abuse, and sexual abuse. Those are the things that could reduce your mental health and well-being. So, what are mental health problems? So, mental health problems can affect any of us, irrespective of age, personality, or background. Whether you are rich or poor, you might have mental health problems. They include a wide range of experiences and can affect the way people think, feel, or behave. So, example, you have mental health problem, you are not able to function already. You are not able to perceive well. So, as discussed earlier, there might be have hallucinations, illusions, anxieties that you will feel. Okay? And they can appear as a result of experiences in both personal and working lives, or they can come out about without any easily identifiable cause. Okay? So, it will not talk about problems in the family, but also in problems in our workmates. Okay? Or maybe some. The worst is you do not know what is the cause, why you have that certain mental health problem. Some problems may be mild or moderate, while others may take a more severe form, affecting a person's ability to cope with. Yes, because some will be able to have a good coping mechanism. Some also will have a low coping. So it will really depend on the person on how he or she could cope a certain stress. So what are the common mental health issues among students? So number one, we have the stress. Almost all students will experience some form of stress at the university, usually triggered by an academic pressure or personal circumstances. So academic pressure, everyone, if you want to graduate, but you are not able to pass your projects, or you are not able to submit a certain requirement for you to pass a certain subject. So that could be a source of stress. Okay? And we also have these personal circumstances, which means maybe as a student have family problems because the student, the student's parents separated. It could be a source of your stress also. We also have your anxiety. So while it's normal to be nervous in stressful situations, people with anxiety often feel overly anxious under pressure. Sometimes the point of panic attacks or experience low level anxiety all the time, regardless of the situation. Yes. It's normal that we will have this feeling of being anxious. So example, we have an exam and we were not able to study well, so we feel anxious. But if you feel anxious all the times without any triggering factor or stressor, so it could be a symptom of a mental health problem. And lastly, we have depression. So from anxiety, you become depressed. Okay? Again, when it's normal to sometimes feel down, these feelings are categorized as depression when they continue to for over 2 weeks, recur regularly or once a month, or have a significant negative impact on an individual's quality of life. So for example, death in the family. So it is expected that around 6 months to a year, we will be able to cope it up. So we will be able to move on. But others won't do the same because some they will not already eat, they will not already socialize with other people, they will not be able um to cope with the death of their loved ones. Okay? So meaning their quality of life is already poor. Okay? Now, what are the symptoms of anxiety? So we have feelings of panic, fear, or uneasiness. Okay, so the student may have uh, feelings of uneasiness. So, problems on sleeping. They're not able to sleep properly at night. Maybe if they will be able to sleep around 1 to 2 hours only. We also have your catastrophic thinking, obsessing over the worst case scenario. Say, even if they were able to study, they will feel that they will fail the examination. You also have your heart palpitations. Okay, the palpitations is very obvious already. Okay, difficulty concentrating, they cannot focus, and you also have your panic attacks. Some would have panic attacks also. Okay. So how to support someone through a panic attack? So example, we have a student or you are a student and you have a classmate, okay, having a panic attack. So find a quiet space away from people. Okay? So you have to go to a room, or if you have a clinic, go to a clinic so that he will be away from other people. Okay? And encourage them to take slow deep breath and reassure them they will be okay and provide an activity to redirect energy. Okay? So those are your ways on how you can support someone during panic attack. Okay. So, as mentioned earlier, we also talk about depression. So, depression is the most common health problem for college students. Yes. Over 30 of the college students felt so depressed that it was difficult to function. So, here in our school, we have many cases of suicide. Okay. Okay. Just last night, we have a student who recently passed the engineering board exam who committed suicide. Okay? So we did not know what happened, why he committed suicide, that he passed the board exam. So it's still under investigation. And we also have some students who committed suicide because of family problems or because um a breakup with a boyfriend or a girlfriend. So we have many cases of depression, and that depression led to a suicide. So one of the interventions that our school will be conducting. We had a meeting, so we'll be having this caravan on psychosocial support and on mental health. So because it's already alarming. And over 60% of college students have felt overwhelmed by anxiety at least once in the last 12 months, and around 31% of college students have seriously considered suicide. Yeah, we are having that a raise of number of students since 2016 during the pandemic. We have a lot of cases. So, what is depression? So, sadness is only a small part of depression. Some people with depression may not feel sadness at all, but become more irritable or lose interest in things they usually like to do. And when we have this depression, it interferes with our daily life and normal function. And of course, we should not ignore or try to hide those symptoms. It is a character flaw and you can't will it away. Okay? So it's very important that if we see somebody, those we having those signs of depression, we really have to act on it so that we have to prevent more serious problems that will happen, such as yung suicide. So the common signs and symptoms of depression, we have persistent sadness, feelings of hopelessness, feelings of guilt or worthlessness, loss of interest or pleasure in hobbies and activities, and decreased energy, fatigue, or being slowed down. So if you have a student, please act on those students. Now, there are also signs and symptoms of depression. So I hear I have not mentioned this one. Thoughts of death or suicide attempts. So if you hear someone from your students, or if you hear from your classmates that they wanted to take away their life, please act on it seriously. Okay? Because we just don't know, maybe it's really true. Or it's better that you have to talk to them immediately, or you have to refer them to a healthcare provider. It could be a psychologist, okay? Or or in the school we have the presence of the guidance coordinators or guidance services. Please do those things so we can help save the life of our students. So when I say suicidal feelings, it's a feelings that can range from being preoccupied by abstract thoughts about ending your life, or feeling that people would be better off without you, thinking about methods of suicide, or making clear plans to take your own life. So those are suicidal feelings. Those feelings that you will say, I want to die, okay? Or nobody likes me. It would be better if I die so that they will be happy. If you hear those things, you should um act on it as teacher, as a friend, okay, as a classmate. Please act on it. And if you are feeling suicidal, you might be scared or confused by these feelings, but you are not alone. Many people think about suicide at some point in their lifetime. Have you felt those in one point of your life? Have you said, I want to take away my life? If you have felt that, then I think you should talk to someone, or if you do not want to talk to your friend, to your family, there are professionals who can handle you or handle your situation or your condition. So I have here another video entitled, She Was Crying Inside, but no one could see.
Physical wounds are easy to spot because we can see them. You can see blood, you can see a broken bone because there's physical evidence of the injury. If you've ever been in a situation like this, you know how it feels. You experience the anguish externally.
Okay, so what have we learned on that video? So we have two types of wound: the physical wound and the emotional wound. So which wound is easier to heal? Is it the physical wound or the emotional wound? Okay, anyone? Which heals faster? Is it physical or the emotional wound? Yes. It's physical. So physical wound includes scratches, being disabled, okay? So anything that would affect our physical appearance. But when you say emotional, those are the feelings of hurt, okay? The feelings of being alone. So those are emotional wound, okay? So if we have physical wound, we can easily ask the help of a doctor, of a nurse, of a healthcare provider. But when we have this emotional wound, we think a lot of times first before we go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a guidance services because of the stigma. We are afraid that people around us will laugh at us or will talk about us. That's the problem with us. Not on maybe not only here in the Philippines but also in some of the countries. Okay? So the lesson there is if we experience some emotional wounds, please try to cope with it. Okay? If you need somebody to talk to, do it. Because if you will just keep all the hurt feelings, all the anger, you will really have a mental health problem. Okay? So do not be afraid, do not be ashamed to talk to someone about your problems because I know if not all your friends will listen, there will be someone who will listen to you. Okay? Who will be willing to talk to you and to help you or guide you in solving your problems. Okay? And again, suicide is not a solution to a problem. Okay? So it might be hard at first, but later on you will be able to cope with it. So please think positive. I know. So what are the challenges for teachers? Okay, who are teachers here? I hope there are teachers in this session. So how these are the challenges for the teachers. How can we provide a safe and supportive environment in which all students can maximize their learning? How can we remain accessible and responsive to their needs? How can we assist our students to develop their ability to cope with challenges and stress? So those are some of the challenges for teachers because as we all know, not all students are having uh, good mental health. Okay, some may be experiencing problems, or when you say on the academic performance, some students will perform well, and some will perform bad. So, as a teacher, how can you make solution on that? What are your interventions? So this must be some of the challenges that we as a teachers should act on. Okay, so now this is the reason that we have this psychosocial support. So when you say psychosocial, it refers to dynamic relationship between the psychological dimension of a person and the social dimension of a person. The psychological dimension includes the internal emotional thought process, the feelings and reactions, and the social dimension includes relationship, family and community network, social values and cultural practices. Okay, then psychosocial support refers to the actions that address both psychological and social needs of individuals, families, and communities. That is according to Psychosocial Interventions Handbook, page 25. And also, so when we say psychosocial support, it's helping, okay, or assisting anyone. It could be a family member, it could a workmate, it could be a classmate, okay, so that that person with having problems on mental health will be able to cope up with their problems. So psychosocial support can be both preventive and curative. It is preventive when it decreases the risk of developing mental health problems, and it's curative when it helps individuals and communities to overcome and deal with psychosocial problems that may have arisen from the shock and effects of crisis. These two aspects of psychosocial support contribute to the building of resilience in the face of new crises or other challenging life circumstances. So it could be preventive, meaning he or she, instead of having the depression or anxiety, you're able to prevent it. Or maybe he already have a problem. Let's say he is already having this anxiety or depression. You are able to act on it. So example, if you are students of having depression, it could be if you cannot deal with it, you can refer it to your university physician or to your guidance coordinator. Okay? And the preventive way as a teacher, maybe you will engage your students to different activities, extracurricular activities such as sports. Okay. So maybe you can have this different sports, basketball, baseball, volleyball. Okay, those are some. Or you can have trainings on how to improve mental health. So that's how you can provide psychosocial support. So how can the teachers help? Number one, making referral. I mentioned this earlier. Making referrals to relevant specialists, children with emotional severe disturbances, post-traumatic states, eating disorders, deafness, autism, family issues. So referrals. Okay. Next, number two, enabling the children to develop appropriate life skills, self-esteem, and resilience. So as I already mentioned that one, you may conduct sports or any activities that would divert their concentration on having problems, and acquiring professional skills in understanding child development and mental health. So there are several trainings and seminars that would you will be able to acquire new knowledge and skills on how to deal with children having mental problems. And you also have creating a supportive school environment that is conducive to learning and developing life skills. Okay, so example, if you do not have a guidance services office, so you might as well establish that, and providing mental health education, knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors to all children. So mental health education could be a information dissemination on mental health and wellness, and it could be trainings and seminars or workshop on how to conduct psychosocial support among teachers. Okay. Next, education parents and community members on risk and protective factors of mental health. So, for example, you have a student that is not performing well. You may be talk to the parents, ask them why, tell them what is happening to their children, and try to assess what is the problem. Okay, and if you have you know now the problem, you might advise um, solutions to their problems. Next is you have identifying factors that place children at risk and reinforcing protective factors. So, for example, you observe that that a student with high grades suddenly became had a low score, or the sudden change of behavior of a certain student. You try to communicate with them, try to talk to them, offer support to your student. Okay, next, liaising with families, parents, and caregivers. Example, home visits. I hope we, as teachers, we also conduct home visit, especially during the pandemic. We conducted those things. Okay, we go to the uh, house of the our students, okay, to bring their modules. And aside from bringing the modules, we also try to talk to the families. Next, we also have your fostering partnerships between school and community agencies, service providers. So if here in the Philippines, some of our we forge partnership with our extension partners. Okay, so that we will be able to, example, for financial assistance to our students who have problems financially, especially on supporting their educational needs. So we partner with them, and also to Department of Health. We also have a MOA, a memorandum of agreement with them. Sample for those students who are malnourished. We also ask the aid of Department of Health through the local government unit and strengthening community support networks. Okay. So we in our university we have this Facebook group on guidance services in which our students will be able to reach us through Facebook. Okay. They will just message us or personal message us on the chat box, and somebody is assigned to answer their questions or queries or any information that they need. And each of the college have a guidance coordinator. So that, for example, for the nursing students, I am one of the guidance coordinator. So if there are problems that arises among our nursing students, they are free to contact us. They have our numbers. We not our personal numbers, but our numbers that is used for guidance counseling. So that's one way on how we can strengthen community support and networks. Okay, so it's great to ask for help. If you don't ask for help, depression may get worse and contribute to other health problems while robbing you the academic and social enjoyment and success that brought you to college in the first place. So do not be ashamed, ask for help. And it can also lead to self-medication with high-risk behaviors with their own serious consequences, such as binge drinking and other substance abuse and having unsafe sex. Okay, so other students may their source of coping may be through drinking or substance abuse. So if we will not help those students, and we will not be able to prevent their mental health, okay, their mental health problem. Okay, so how can I help myself or someone else? We have your self care. Okay, so self care. So you have to eat a balanced diet, exercise, okay, and other things that would make you feel better physically and mentally. You also have your treatment options. If you can see that I think I'm facing this one, I am not able to cope it, you may reach counseling services or psychiatric services or psychological services. And you also have your recovery, and for recovery maybe you will be given some medications or strategies on how you can recover thoroughly. And of course you have your peer support. It's very important to have a peer, okay, so that you'll be able to talk our problems. So how can you look after your well-being? How do I self-care? So get plenty of sleep, enjoy sunshine. You may have to cook, write or draw, think out loud whatever you wanted to say. You may write it in a piece of paper so you can express your feelings. Yes, talk to yourself, but not all the times. You cuddle cats, or you can have your animals or your pets at home. Walk or bike, doing household chores, and you also have to read books, read about people's lives are more complicated. Yes, it's very important that, because when you read other people's life that are more, you can say that you are still lucky because you have this one, unlike other people, they are really suffering. Okay, you can also do gardening, get a hug, of course, from our parents, from our loved ones, and talk to selected people. Okay, so talk about the way you feel. Okay, identify your problems or your triggers. Do something you enjoy. Take time to relax. Yes, not all the times that you'll be working or studying. So maybe you will use your Saturday, Sunday, or Sundays for yourself to relax. You may go to the beach, go shopping, okay, or do the things that you are not able to do during the working time or during your school. Okay? So make a plan to say well, wellness action plan. Think about what helps you if you start feeling overwhelmed, and be kind to yourself because we are all human. Yes. We should have time to relax. Okay? We have should have a time to sleep, okay? And to rest. Okay? Because we are not robots, no? Because if in the long run you will not have time for yourself, maybe it could be a source of your mental health problem. So, how can I help someone experience suicidal feelings? So, try not to judge. Okay? So, do not judge a person immediately. When, example, you have a classmate of your student who went to a psychiatrist or psychologist, you will tell them that he's already getting cruel, crazy. Okay? Talk to the person about how they feel. Tell me how you feel. Okay? You will ask your friend or your siblings or your student. Encourage them to get help. Ask them how you can help. Help them stay safe and look out for warning signs. So those are the things is that as a teacher you should able to do in order to help students from having suicidal feelings. Okay? And of course, as part of your legacy in your school, if you are working in a university or as a teacher, you might have this one a psychosocial support page. Okay, so in BIPSU we have this guidance and counseling services for our students and also faculty members. So anytime they can chat. Okay. So, we also have this, kumusta ka? Dali mag-istoryata in our dialect, meaning, how are you? Come here and let's talk. Okay? So, it's very important. Okay? So, I think that would be all. I hope you have learned something on my slide.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your valuable presentation with our participants. And we expect that our participants and of course I am included here, will learn so many things from this presentation. So we will come back with you again in our Q&A session after the quiz competition. So please stay with us. Thank you, ma'am. So, my dear lovely audience, get ready for our quiz competition session. So, before starting the program, let me tell you once again, don't forget to share, tag, and mention your friends in our comments. Okay, and we have a notice for today, that is, we have some problem in our website, and our tech team is working with it, and within 24 hours or 48 hours, it will be sorted out. So please, till then, stay with IGP, stay covered with us, and we will provide the code after sorting out the problem. So thank you, and get ready for our quiz competition session. So enjoy this short video. Okay, you're welcome once again in our quiz competition session. And right now we have 17 persons who join with us. So please join in our quiz competition session. You can browse Chrome and directly go to www.slido.com and give the code that is quiz IGP, or you can see the joining link comments. So you can scan the QR code that is flashed on our screen. Please, everyone, share with your friends. You can mention your friends in our comment box also. And please note that there is no relation between quiz competition certificates and the international webinar certificate. So we are not giving the webinar code today because we are having some issue in our website, and it will be sorted out within 24 or 48 hours. Then we will provide the code. Right now we have 33 participants, 34 participants who joined with us. Thank you for joining. We have right now 35 participants. We are still waiting for new participants. Thanks to our CSR team for cooperating actively with our participants. Okay, we have right now 33 participants in our quiz competition. Okay, we will start it within a minute. So get ready, everyone. Okay, we have 40 participants right now. So let's start. The first question: what strategy is best for providing feedback on students' writing tasks? Is this identifying strengths in kids' writing before addressing needed improvement, or emphasizing to students the role of persistence in improving writing skills? So you have to choose one option. And the correct answer is option number one. And 89% of our participants get the correct answer. Okay, we have Marvin Wagayin on first position in our leaderboard, and following Geraldine Calzamaguchi, following Christina Vidal Rosario, then we have Rosie Source, and there's Javier Alvarez. So congratulations to all of you. Moving to our next question. a multi-tier approach to the early identification and support of the students with learning and behavior needs, response to intervention or preventive intervention. So the correct answer is option number one, response to intervention, and 85% of our participants choose the right answer. So we have Cristina Vidal Rosario on first position in our leaderboard, following Marvin, then we have Rosie Tildersors, following Charlene Kalazamaguchi, and Dennis Wintersors. Okay, congratulations to all of you. Let's see our next question. Which of the following are characteristics of gifted students? Innovative, always know correct answers, and interact easily with peers, or metacognitive, advanced reasoning, analytical thinking skills, and creative. The right answer is option number two, and 75% of our participants chose the right answer. Okay, we have Dennis going to Surso on first position in our leaderboard, following Marvin, following Debate, following Rosie, Theosaurus, and Christina Villar Rosario. So congratulations to top five winners. Let's see the next question. What strategy would help solving or understanding tails to illustrate the simple word problems or continuing to restart the step? Okay, the right answer is option number one. And 80 participants get right. Okay, we have Dennis going to search so on first position in our following Rosie Teosors and Christina Vidal Rosario. So no change in our leaderboard. Let's see the next question. Preparing students for awareness program or using simple drawings. Okay, we have our right answer, that is option number one, and 95% of our participants choose the right answer. Once again, we have Dennis going to search on first position in our leaderboard, following Rosie Teosors, following Bebeth, following Christina, Vidal Rosario, and Marvin. Okay, congratulations to all of you. Let's see our next question, question number six. Students who are low to engage in new experience and need and coaches like prepare kids in advance for new experiences by describing what they will see, and encourage kids to be brave and praise them when engaged quickly. So the right answer is option number one, and only 38% of our participants choose the correct answer. In our leaderboard, still Dan is going to Surso leading on first position, following Rosie to Source, following Marvin Joaquin, following Charlene Kalazamaguchi, and Evelyn Rivaderia. So congratulations to all of you. Next question. According to Erickson's theory of psychosocial development, Key challenges during the infancy period are acquiring trust in other people or learning to take personal initiative. Okay, the right answer is option number one, acquiring trust in other people. And 78% of our persons get the correct answer. Still, we have Danny is going to Serso on first position in our leaderboard. And following Rosie to your source, then we have Charlene, Kalasa Maguchi, we have Mervin, and Evelyn Berry. Moving to next question. Which among the following used by the visually impaired students in writing? State and stylus or abacus and stylus? So the right answer is option number one, that is state and stylus, and 55% of our participants chose the right answer. Okay, we skip our leaderboard, so right. Yes, here it is. So slide show the leaderboard that we have. Dennis going to search on first position again, following Rosie, following Charlene, following Marvin. Then we have Christina Vidal. Sorry, so there is no change in our leaderboard. So once again, congratulations to all of you. We have our last question, question number 10. Let's see. Teachers can best ensure that learning experiences will be appropriate for students by considering what? Option number one or option number two? We have to choose one. So the right answer is option number two, that is, have kids achieve the level of cognitive development needed to perform. And only 18% of our participants chose the right answer. Okay, we have our winner's name. We have Dan is going to search on first position in our leaderboard. Congratulations. Following Rosie T. Source placed second. Charlene Kalazamaguchi placed third. Marvin Wa- Wagain placed fourth. Christina Vidal Rosario placed fifth. And the others winners name. Okay, we have Evelyn Piva Perry placed sixth. Alex Javier Alvarez plays 7, Leah Facunda plays 8, Mary Alia Michelle plays 9, and last but not least, Darren B. Arabella plays 10. So congratulations to our top 10 winners. So give a virtual clap for them. So once again, congratulations to our winners. You can get your certificates from our Facebook official page after the program. It will be within 15 minutes or after 15 minutes. So collect your certificates and don't forget to celebrate with us. And we will go to our Q&A session with our honorable speaker after a short video. So don't forget to tag, share, and mention your friends in our comment box. And let me tell you that so that is why you cannot access the website. And today we will provide this later after the problem solved out. So thank you for watching. Enjoy this video. Welcome. So this is our Q&A session, and we are waiting for the question from our participants. My dear participants, please add speaker's name and ask the question in our comment. And we're
No questions.
until come. Dear audience, we are still waiting for your question, and please go to our comment box and ask your question to our speakers. Okay, we have a comment from John Dimalingat that thank you, Dr. P. Very clear explanation. So it seems they are pleased with your presentation. We will wait for the question. Yes, we have a question from Ma'am Evelyn Perry. Good afternoon, Ma'am Pearl. How do you help someone who is struggling emotionally? Thank you.
Okay. So thank you for that question.
And it's
So
my question too, ma'am.
okay, so we have experienced that a lot of times here in our university. So if a student, if we can see that a student is struggling emotionally, we try to talk to that student immediately. So we try to call his or her attention. For example, we have a student having low grades, not attending to class. We really try to contact them as soon as possible. Um, we talk to them, ask them what is your problem, and we try to advise them some solutions. And we also encountered a very difficult situation in which we as guidance coordinators or as a teacher was not able to help the student already. So we try to refer them to our university physician, and our university physician referred it to a higher institution. So some of them were referred to a psychologist, okay, so that they will be able to handle the situation properly. Because even if we are teachers, there are some instances that we are not able to handle the kind of emotional problem that our student has. So sometimes we really have to refer them. Yes. Thank you.
But I want to include something that uh, introvert personalities person. So they don't want to share, and so they just feel themselves. So, what will be your suggestion for them? That kind of person, introvert.
Okay. So for students who do not want to really talk, okay, to us, sometimes we make use of their peers or their classmates because sometimes they're ashamed to talk to a teacher or someone in authority. So sometimes we use their friends, okay, or their peers to talk to them. We have actually in our school we have this peer counseling. Okay, so students are the frontliners sometimes before they will refer it to them. So from the peer counselors, they will, if they cannot already solve the problem by themselves, now they will now refer, because there are also sometimes that some students would not really talk to a teacher, so they prefer more on their peers or classmates because they believe that they can be understood by their peers, not by their teachers. We have some cases like that.
So, there's no more questions till now. Still, yes, yeah. Another question. Okay, Joe and Ergel, my question, ma'am, is how can we know that?
Yes, that's a very difficult question, because sometimes, diba, it was explained earlier that sometimes we really can't detect that that person is suffering from emotional problem unless, for example, in school, sudden change of behavior, sudden drop of grades. But others, we cannot really detect unless they will be able to show something different, okay, from their previous behavior. So that is the problem with what we call the emotional wound. Unlike the physical wound, we can easily see that there is a problem because there is a wound, there is a blood. But for emotional problems, that is sometimes that we as teachers would really have a hard time detecting, because some students may be performing well, but we don't know they also have problems. So it's really it's the challenge of the teacher. How can you detect whether your student has a problem or not? But the common scenario is that they will really have a change on their academic performance. As teachers, we really can detect the academic through the academic performance of the student, and of course the social relationship with their classmates. So if example, that student used to be funny or jolly in the class or very participative, but one day or 1 week after, you they will not already talk to you, or they will not respond anyone in the class. So if you see those red flags, so you might as well talk to them immediately or do something, okay, so that you
Thank
will be
you.
able to help them.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
So our next question is from Rezine Defino. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, ma'am Pearl. How can you help or encourage students that suffer from bullying?
Okay. So here in our school, we already adopt the no bullying at the school. So every time that a certain classmate will try to bully a student, we always call their attention and we give them lecture, tell them it's not good to bullying and all those things. And for the victim or the student who suffered from bullying, we immediately talk to them. The key here, the key solution for mental health problem is to communicate. Try to talk to that person personally so that those emotions will be aired out. Okay, so will be shown.
Thank you, ma'am. Our last question is from Ma'am Charlene Noguchi. Dr. Pearl, great talk. May I ask what is your insight for those persons who suffer from emotional pains yet not crying even a single drop?
So I have this experience, a personal experience. She is not a student, but rather a workmate. My workmate lost his husband. I think a year ago. But during the whole time of the funeral until now, she was not able to cry. You will not be able to see her cry even the videos. It's because the sudden death of her husband was due because of a third party. So she has this hatred to his husband. I think she hasn't forgive her husband yet until now. But what we did is that we tried to talk to her and let her express her feelings. Um, it's been a year. We try to comfort her and try to understand her. And sometimes because she's fond of staying at home, we go to her house and pick her up and we try to divert all the bad vibes. So talking is the very important key.
Thank you, ma'am. So we have another question from our active participants. What is your opinion to those teachers bullying their co-teachers in school? Yeah,
Yes,
it's really
we
happening.
experienced that personally. So it can't be what can I say? I think all of us were able to, oh, not all, maybe most of us were able to experience that. But we just don't think it um not a big deal. We seldom have that one, but we just neglect it because we always try to think of the positive things, no? So do not deal with negative vibes, or if you cannot tolerate them, talk to them.
Mm,
Why are you
exactly.
bullying me? Or those teachers who bully their co-teachers at school, um, you are you do not know what's the impact that you're doing to your co-teacher. Your co-teacher might just smile at you, but you just don't know that that teacher's already feeling bad about you. So stop doing that because it might be done to you also. So that's it.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Mhm.
Thank you for sharing your knowledge. I have learned many things from this presentation. It's a very great topic, psychosocial. only in students, it's every ages person. Ma'am, can you hear me? Can you hear me now, ma'am?
Hi, ma'am. I think the signals. I'm having poor
Thank you so
signal.
So thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for coming. Thank you for responding to our participants and sharing your knowledge with everyone. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so
So we
much
want,
also, IGP. It was my first time and I was thinking not to speak. But I said, you've been messaging me on chat and I said I have to push through. I'm ashamed that I will not be able to have this undertaking. So thank you so much, and thank you for patiently waiting to all my replies. I've been very busy really since May until now. I'm really busy with the research works. Thank you so
thank you so much,
much.
ma'am. Thank you so much.
Um,
So, my dear lovely audience, today we are not provide any webinar code because we are having some problem in our website. So after sort out the problem, we will provide all the code, certificate code in our official page. So wait for that. And thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you for participating in our QA and quiz session. Thank you for all the positive response of yours. So have a good day to all of you. Stay safe, stay healthy. I'm signing off right now.